has failed to settle the ownership issue between the two factions of the ruling Nepal Communist Party. The commission on Sunday had said that the party previously led by chairman duo KP Sharma Oli and Pushpa Kamal Dahal is legitimate. The Oli faction has supported the election commission's decision, while the disgruntled Dahal Nepal faction has disowned it. Good morning, I am Bipashna Tamang and these are the headlines of the hour. The Oli faction of the Nepal Communist Party welcomes the decision of the Election Commission regarding the legitimacy of the party, while the Dahal Nepal faction rejects it. The U.S. House of Representatives delivers a charge to the Senate accusing former President Donald Trump with inciting insurrection, setting in motion his second impeachment trial. And Tangai Dombele scores a brace as Tottenham Hotspur defeat Wycombe Wanderers 4-1 to reach the fifth round of the FA Cup. The inter-party wrangling of the ruling Nepal Communist Party is likely to take a new turn after the Election Commission had decided that none of the correspondence issued by the two factions since the 28th of December debacle last month would be considered as official. The decision has given a sigh of relief for Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli faction, while the disgruntled Pushpa Kamal Dahal Madhav Kumar Nepal faction is preparing to approach the commission again, claiming legitimacy of the party. We have more in this report.
The ruling Nepal Communist Party has already been divided following the abrupt decision of Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli to dissolve the House of Representatives on 20th of December, going against the party decision. However, on Sunday, the Election Commission, after a month, rejected the demand of both the factions claiming ownership of the party. The Dahal faction has expressed its dissatisfaction over the Election Commission's decision, citing it as unlawful and an attempt to avoid its constitutional responsibilities. Before the split, out of 434 Central Committee members, 290 were in the Dahal Nepal faction, while 144 were in the Oli faction. The Dahal faction thus accused the Election Commission of being influenced by Prime Minister Oli and is preparing to reclaim its legitimacy at the Commission. With the recent development, the decision to appoint Madhav Kumar Nepal as party chairman, ousting Premier Oli, would not be implemented, while the Jammu Central Committee of the Oli faction would also be scrapped. However, the Oli faction has accepted the Commission's decision, saying it was in its favor. Political analysts have said that the decision from the Election Commission would give a sigh of relief for the Oli faction, which is in minority in all party structures. The Oli faction has been claiming that the Dahal faction would not be able to move ahead due to the provision of mandatory consensus between the chairman duo as per the party statute. Prime Minister Oli took the decision to dissolve the lower house to avoid the possible no-confidence motion against him, following mounting pressure to step down from the posts of premiership and chairman, which has led to the split in the ruling party. Both the factions have been claiming their ownerships at the moment. However, the Election Commission is still in the mood of wait and watch, as both the factions have not fulfilled the requirement, saying that they have officially split and have claimed for legitimacy. The Election Commission's decision means that the ownership dispute of the ruling party still remains intact.
Police intervened in yesterday's protest staged by the civil society and human rights activists against the resolution of the House of Representatives. The protesters had marched towards the Prime Minister's official residence in Balwata, terming the dissolution of the lower house unconstitutional. However, the police did not allow the protesters to move ahead towards the prohibited area by stopping them at Patpatini Chowk in Tangal. The civil society activists accused Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli of creating political chaos in the country by dissolving the lower house and stressed on the reinstatement of the House of Representatives. The police resorted to baton charging and using water cannon on the protesters as they tried to move ahead towards the Prime Minister's official residence. Several activists, including Mohan Ansari, Narayan Wagle, Raghu Panta, Yug Pathak, among others, sustained injuries during the scuffle. The injured have been receiving treatment at different hospitals in the capital. The police had also intervened in the protest organized by the Human Rights and Peace Society in Balwata earlier yesterday and arrested more than a dozen activists, including Krishna Pahadi and Uttam Puraseni. The detainees were later released by the police. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked the locals in Parvat district why have political parties shown temptations and made assurances to the public to attract them. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice. जागिर दिन्छु यस्तो गराउँछौं छोराछोरी यस्तो दिन्छौं उस्तो दिन्छौं हजुरलाई यस्तोमा काम लाउँछौं भनेर लोभमा फसाएर
क्षमताको आधारमा सक्दैनन् किनकि त्यो क्षमता छँदै छैन अहिलेको राजनीतिक दलहरुमा त्यसै कारणले गर्दा विभिन्न लोभमा देखाएर पार्टीमा प्रवेश गराउनुहुन्छ
जरुरी छैन करकाप गरेर लोभ लालच देखाएर यो गर्नुपर्ने लोभ लालच देखाएर चाहिँ पार्टी नै प्रवेश गराउनु पर्ने जरुरी छैन
स्वार्थ पूरा गर्नको लागि सर्वसाधारण जनताहरूलाई पार्टी प्रवेश गराउने गर्छ
Time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And here's the question. Why has the government decision to purchase electric buses not been implemented? The options are Option A, sluggish bureaucratic mechanism, Option B, lengthy process, and Option C, effect of syndicate. The voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And time now for the sports update. Defending champions Nepal Police Club have advanced to the semi-finals of the Prime Minister Cup one-day cricket tournament, defeating Province 2 by 4 wickets. In the Group B match played at the capital's Mulpane cricket ground yesterday, Province 2 were put into bat first after losing the toss and posted a below-par total of 169 runs in the allotted 47 overs, losing 9 wickets. Harish Shankar Shah was the leading run scorer for Province 2, contributing 53 runs. Lalit Rajpanchi was the pick of the police bowlers, grabbing 4 wickets. Chasing a victory target of 170 runs, Nepal Police Club romped home in 38 overs, losing 6 wickets. Anil Shah top scored for the police team, scoring an unbeaten 47. Vivek Yadav and Kumar Thapa, who claimed 3 wickets each, were the only Province 2 bowlers to pick up wickets. Meanwhile, Armed Police Force also booked a spot in the semi-finals of the Prime Minister Cup cricket tournament, defeating Tribhuvan Army Club by 6 runs and topped a Group A. Tribhuvan Army also reached the semis as runners-up in their group despite yesterday's loss. In the match played at the TU cricket ground in Kantipur yesterday, APF batted first after losing the toss and were bowled out after posting a challenging total of 240 runs in 49.4 overs. Sumit Maharjan top scored for APF, scoring 46 runs. Hari Chauhan was the pick of the Tribhuvan Army bowlers with a 5-wicket haul. Chasing a victory target of 241 runs, the Army club managed to score 234 runs in the stipulated 50 overs in a nail-biting finish and lost their match by a slim margin of 6 runs. Anil Mandal was the leading run scorer for Tribhuvan Army, scoring 45 runs. Kamal Airi, who grabbed 3 wickets, was the pick of the APF bowlers. And time now for our special segment, Sports Buzz.
Newly appointed head coach of the national cricket team, Dave Watmore, has envisioned to take Nepalese cricket to greater heights during his tenure. Talking to reporters for the first time since his appointment as the head coach of the national team last week, Watmore, who steered the Sri Lankan cricket team to win the World Cup in 1996, said that his main goal would be to bring more laurels for Nepalese cricket. Watmore, who was selected as the national coach ahead of 71 contenders, arrived in Nepal last Tuesday to take on his responsibility. Watmore said that he would focus on raising the world ranking of the Nepalese team. Watmore is currently preparing the team for a triangular series to be held in Oman in 2 months. Cricket Association of Nepal has appointed Watmore as the head coach for a year. Indian Premier League team Delhi Capitals have decided to release Nepal spin ace Sandeep Lamithane after 3 seasons. Delhi Capitals announced it would release Sandeep, Jason Roy, Daniel Sams and Mohit Sharma last week. Sandeep had spent his entire third stint with Delhi Capitals on the bench despite performing well in the first 2 seasons. Delhi Capitals had bought Sandeep back in 2018 for a mediocre amount. Sandeep made his debut in the IPL playing last 3 matches in 2018 for Delhi Capitals, taking 5 wickets. In 2019, Sandeep took 8 wickets in 6 matches he had featured. However, Sandeep spent the whole season on the bench last season, where Delhi Capitals were beaten finalists. Sandeep will now be put up for auction, and there are chances of more lucrative contract with other IPL teams. Meanwhile, Sandeep is currently playing for Hobart Hurricanes in the ongoing Big Bash League. Sandeep has put on a good performance in a number of matches, while on Sunday, he helped Hobart to win over Sydney Sixers. This is Sarah Chitrakar for our special segment Sports Buzz and Kantipur News Desk.
And that's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.